I think basically I've been looking at the transits for quite a few years, and I don't think that we've ever had a beginning of a year that is so ready to go right in the beginning, because usually you have Mercury retrograde or you have something that's kind of pulling everybody back. But this is a different feeling. I'm not saying, that you have to be rushed out and get everything done on January 1st or January 2nd. But what I am saying is that, it is more conducive to be open if you want to kind of move in the direction you want to for the 2024 year ahead. Hi, this is Denise Matthew. I hope you're doing well. I'm back again to talk about the new moon happening on December 12th, and that's going to be happening at 20 degrees Sagittarius. So this is the last new moon of 2023, and what it's bringing us is mainly tribal energy. The cool part about this is that we're going to have a defined will center as well as splenic energies. We're going to have the full 2644 channel that's going to be activated between the sun in the gate 26 line 4 and Venus in the gate 44 line 3. So this is activating a global splenic awareness. So everybody in the world has an ability to tap into their spleen to kind of connect with the intuition that your spleen is giving you. So if you have an open spleen, usually this is a wonderful time to tap into your awareness and to see how it works for you. The awareness that's going to be activated is mainly the gate 44 and also the gate 32, because they're both being activated by planets, but it's going to be different for everybody. So if you have some hanging gates on an open spleen, or even if you have a defined spleen, it's going to activate all those gates in a way where you can probably have more of a tangible idea of what exactly your spleen is trying to tell you. The awareness that the gate 32 brings is activated by the South Node at this point. So it's something that we're sort of leaving, we're sort of moving away from. And the gate 32 is really this idea of climbing up the ladder of life, trying to, continue to move forward, to get better all the time. It does have a really big perspective connected to career and those types of energies. So this is where you're really wanting to continue to move up and to continue to advance in your career, or even some kind of a progress thing that you're trying to make in your life, something that you want to get better at could even be the same perspective. Now, this is about continuity, but the other perspective is it can bring this anxiety or this kind of fear about the idea that maybe you're not going to continue to move forward. Maybe you're going to go stagnant, or there's going to be a stalemate. So that's something to keep in mind, that is energy that is not necessarily, it can activate the fear, but what you have the ability to do is to understand that the fear is not real, and instead connect with your splenic awareness. The splenic awareness that the gate 32 will bring is connected to the idea of knowing what will be successful and knowing what won't be successful. So in other words, it gives you the heads up on those projects, those things, those commitments that you're putting your energy into, being something that you are more aware of being more successful or more potential for success, as opposed to wasting your time in something and it doesn't turn out the way you want to. So that is the awareness that the gate 32 is bringing us. The other awareness that we're getting connected to is the gate 44. And this is about the new and improved. And sales, because we have the full 2644 channel that's activated. So this is going to be a time that if you have something that you have sort of upgraded, or it's new and improved, or even if it's something that is out in the world right now, but you've put your own particular spin on it, then it's a great time for releasing it, because it's a time when you might have more ability to be able to kind of cross the boundaries and have people want to buy what you're selling, as long as it's an upgrade of some kind. And that is the key. The gate 44 is why this is better. It's like the sales, you could say, the sales copy that comes with something that's going to be sold. And then the gate 26 is the salesperson who's out there selling things, telling people why it's so amazing. Now, there's a lot of balance between the 44 and the 26 when they come together. And that is a great thing, because, sometimes on its own, the gate 26 can be kind of bombastic and go a little over the top with why something is so amazing and so good. So with the gate 44, there's this kind of taming or this pulling in of the energy. So it's very nicely balanced. So there is potential to get good sales, to be able to put things out. Now, if you're selling anything that is related to education, it's a really great time to do that, because the education factor comes with a gate 45. The gate 45 is being activated by the Earth right now, which is another thing. The other thing that I would say about the gate 45 being activated right now is that we do have a lot of this energy for, buying something new, and it might be really easy to kind of overspend at this time for this particular time, especially for this new moon, but also like sort of the time running up to the holiday season. So something to keep in mind is that it might be easy to splurge and then regret later on that, why did I actually spend all that money? So if we look at the gate 44, the awareness that the gate 44 is bringing is patterns. It's bringing this awareness of seeing patterns repeating. What we most times see with the gate 44 is an activation of fear. This is a fear of the past events repeating itself. Now, remember that past events can always be something that you want to continue on or want to have come back into your life, as much as it can be something you don't want to have come back into your life. But what we do as humans is we look at all the experiences of when we didn't like the pattern or things were not going the way we wanted to, and we have a tendency to focus on that particular perspective as opposed to looking at the times when things were going well. So this is an awareness for the right patterns for you and feeling like, yes, this is the route I'm supposed to go, because I have this sort of intuition or this hit that I've done something like this before and it's worked out beneficially to me. So that's an energy that you can tap into. So using the splenic awareness for this new moon will really work to your advantage. The one thing to keep in mind with the splenic awareness is that it's always going to be something that just comes really quick. It's a quick hit and it goes away, and it doesn't give you a second chance. So being very connected with what your intuition is telling you. And even if you don't have time sort of to work with what the message is, just writing it down so later on you can kind of have that message, because it does come very quickly. So journaling at this particular point, if you have an opportunity, or just kind of jotting down what you felt, might really help in the future, so that if you get a message, you're not going to miss out on the main purpose of it, to help you along in your path and forward. Anything that's related to tribal energy, which we have a lot of for this new moon, is really related to trying to get you to move forward, to continue to move forward, to get more abundance, to get more things that you want to have in your life. And everybody has a specific thing of what they want to have in their life. And this is basically saying that the intuition for getting ahead, to move forward, to do the things that you want, will be at your fingertips if you want to access it. If we bring it into the focus of the actual gates that are being activated, with the sun and the moon are going to be in the gate 26, line 4. This is an interesting line in that it's called censorship. The censorship that comes here is censoring yourself over things in the past that may not have worked out the way you want it to. And so, it is kind of removing them from your memory. A lot of times you could almost say that this is like a rose-colored glasses, always seeing everything from a perspective of, oh, that was really positive, that, everything was great in that respect. So this is something to keep in mind, that there is that added boost of positivity, which is always great. But sometimes realism has to kind of step in and make sure that the positivity is balanced with the realism. Otherwise, you might have some splurging, or you might have something where you kind of step into something and you don't really want to be in it, but you kind of put yourself in there because you've censored any of the difficult parts. Mars in the gate 5, line 3 brings in the concept of really looking at your trajectory, your life forward, wondering, am I on the right track? The thing with the gate 5, line 3 is this idea of there's an experimental process of all third lines. And with this one, it's like jumping out of something that actually might be good for you. Mars just moved from the gate 9, where you're focusing on the patterns, you're looking at some ideas, and you're kind of thinking, okay, how do I want to move forward in my life? The gate 9 is also this perspective of every little step that you're taking is building up to get something even bigger than you can imagine, because you don't see it. All you see is the small steps as you go, and suddenly you kind of arrive at the place you've wanted to be. And it feels like it kind of came out of nowhere, because you just always thought all these little steps that you're taking were just not really of any value. Now we're at the gate 5, and this is really saying that you want to lock into some sort of a trajectory, some sort of a path, some sort of a way forward. With Mars, there could even just be something like an exercise routine that you want to kind of get into your routine that you want to start up. Or maybe you've started an exercise routine and you're sort of practicing it with it and you're enjoying it. And then maybe you start to think, oh, well, maybe there's a better place to go. And maybe that is not necessarily what's correct for you at this particular time. Maybe you need more time. especially when we have Neptune in the gate 36, which is always giving us this impetus of, oh, there's something better out there. There's something that I can, that there's a better experience. There's something that is going to work nicer than this. And you jump out of something and then you realize, okay, that wasn't actually what I wanted. And it doesn't mean that every experience is going to be like that, but because Neptune veils everything, we don't really know what we're going to get when we jump into these new experiences. So what this is saying with Mars there is to take your time to decide what is going to be correct for you. But the other perspective that it brings, which I think is actually a really nice method of kind of trying out these new things you want to try in your life, is that it's about visualization. This is where you can go into your space, your own, fantasy, you could say, or even a dream, whatever you want to say, a visualization of how it would feel to actually make this change, whatever that is. And when you're doing that, you're sort of looking at all the positives and all the things that may not be what you want to happen. You're looking at the whole thing. And the more you visualize it, the more you kind of can get a vibe on, okay, is this correct for me to move forward? And if it is, then you'll get that feeling that, yes, it is correct for you. Or if it isn't correct, then it will stop you from jumping out of something that is actually really good for you. So it's a great practice to visualize the changes that you potentially want to make before you just jump ship and then realize, okay, that wasn't what I wanted. With Mars here and so much tribal energy, this could really be related to your work or your career or how you make your money, those types of things. And you just might get frustrated and say, I'm done with this. I'm just going to, or there's something better out there, or, and that doesn't mean there isn't something better out there, because that's not what this energy is saying. It just says that if you're going to make a change, you want to make a change that's going to be beneficial, that you're going to be really happy that you've changed. The last thing to remember about this new moon is that wrapped around it is the gate 42, where the North Node is right now. So we know that we're maximizing a cycle. We're getting to the end. This is about growth, getting the most we can from this cycle. It could be about maximizing what you can from this particular cycle, or it could be closing the cycle altogether. Or the alternative, it could be building a new cycle based on the platform that you've already built. So there is a cyclical energy that's connected to this new moon and also the full moon that we're going to be having later in the month. There's always going to be that cyclical background frequency of energy that's saying, okay, this is a cycle that we need to complete, or we need to, start a new cycle. Every ending comes with a new beginning, and that's, where we're going to be going in the future. And the really cool thing about the North Node and the gate 42 is that when the North Node is going to move into the gate 51, it's going to be on the 9th of January 2024. So it's sort of like the first week of January. But when that happens, we also have the Earth going to be in the gate 53. So it's going to bring us the full 42-53 channel, which is all about cycles. So what happens is we're closing out, or we're maximizing the growth, or we're doing building something new on a platform, but we also have the energy of new beginnings coming in. So it's so perfectly synchronized so that, you could start to look at all the different things that you're kind of deciding that you want to do. And this new moon is sort of giving you the ideas of what you can do going in the future. And you have sort of the rest of the month of December to think about it, so that in January, you're ready to go, because Mercury goes direct sort of right in the beginning of January. So we have almost all the planets that are going direct at that particular point. We also have the nodes changing, as I just mentioned. They're going to be changing on the 9th. So now we're moving into new energy. We're getting rid of the cyclical endings, starting a new cycle, and things are starting to kind of, I guess, really quickly start to move forward in January based on what I see. So this is saying, get all your ducks in a row so that when the time is right, everything can start to unfold the way it's meant to for you. If there's anything to be said about this new moon, this is really about looking at the whole year, seeing where you've come, seeing where you want to go in the future, making all your plans, because as I said, in January, things are going to start moving. And 2024 is looking like there's a lot more new energy coming for everybody, for us all. Like there's going to be some major players, like Pluto's going to be moving into the gate 41, beginning a brand new cycle. And that's only for a short period of time, but it will give us a taste of what it's going to bring for us. And that's connected to leadership. It's connected to, it's an in the gate 41's an initiating codon, which really basically talks about this idea of starting up something new, a brand new cycle. So it is very impactful and pivotal. We also have Neptune moving out of the gate 36 into the gate 25 for a little while too. So these big players are going to really shake up the energy next year. So having everything ready to go when things are shifting and changing will work to your advantage. And this is a new moon that's giving you that push and drive to say, okay, let's move, let's get ready so that when January 2024 starts, I'm ready to go. But for now, that's about all I have to say about the new moon. I really hope you have a wonderful new moon, and I will talk to you again soon. Until then, take care and bye for now.